because like the city kind of like gave it to us,
Yeah.
because we were like hosting events for the city. And then but it came with this other kind of like public office space that's like more, I don't know, it's more corporate feeling.
Yeah.
But it's like the atmosphere in there is good for working because like everyone's working around you, but I don't know, just like having a meeting would be pretty awkward.
Those are those are pretty big here, like co-working spaces.
Mhm.
And they're a good opportunity for people to network and meet new people. But yeah, I mean, I've definitely been there before with like I don't know if I want to say social anxiety, but just awkwardness with like on a meeting. But I'm sure
Mhm.
other people do that, right? Like other people are in meetings.
Other people do that,
I
but
don't
like
know.
I feel like for me, like I would just like I feel like I would just be able to talk more freely and not like have to watch like the
Oh
volume
yeah,
of my voice if I could just do it outside of the office.
yeah.
But yeah.
Um, so what is like the main thing right now that you want to talk about? Because I know I don't know if I mentioned before, but like my goal with this call is to answer three questions, right?
Mhm.
And those are, what do you need? How can I help? And how can I serve you?
Mhm.
So my goal is trying to, I guess, identify like what are you. I know you're new to this leadership role with your company. You got thrusted into it. I'm not super clear on how that happened. How like what happened to the founders?
Mhm.
Were they kind of one of those that you said like would just make a bunch of money then fall off the face of the earth, or so you took
So
over the role, or
it used to be okay, so it used to be three founders, including me. And then one of them is actually my brother-in-law.
okay,
The other one is someone that we kind of knew through I guess just like mutuals, but
yeah,
like we didn't really know him like too well. And so for Saison, like when we started working on it, I don't even know what I was really expecting out of it. I was kind of just um I was a founder, but like at the same time I was kind of just doing what I had to do.
yeah.
Um
So you started $1 million business with someone you didn't know. That's crazy.
yeah, like but I wasn't expecting it to be that big
Yeah.
anyways. So I just knew that the my brother-in-law wanted to get into like the NFT space, the digital art space.
Hmm.
And then I just connected it there. But for this guy, like we just like were not equally yoked because
Mm.
well, first of all, he was Muslim, but
Mm.
he wasn't like a very good practicing Muslim. Like he did so many
Gotcha.
things that were haram.
Like Andrew Tate type of thing then.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. I'm not too familiar with how
Well, I feel like Andrew Tate, like he promotes. I don't think the word religion is very good, but for him, probably he promotes religion.
Mhm.
But then he like is sleeping with 25 different women in one night.
Yeah.
It's like but the Bible strictly says only sex and marriage, and I'm pretty sure not married to 25 people. And anyway,
Was
yeah,
Andrew Tate Muslim or Christian?
he had a phase of both. I haven't been following him much recently. I
Mhm.
don't know if he's still making content. Um,
Yeah, I haven't seen him at all.
I think he just has basically like um the real world, his like little community where
Mhm.
he teaches money, health, like pretty much everything. Um, and he's making enough off that to where he doesn't feel the need to promote or something. I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but um, okay. So you said it was your brother, it was you, and someone you didn't know very well.
Mhm.
So did you buy them out, or how?
Yeah.
What? Yeah, what
uh,
happened with them?
So basically, like I like prayed to God. I'm like, God, if this like either like change this guy
Mm,
or he can leave. Because he was like very willing to do like unlawful business practices. And it would
okay.
always be like me and my brother-in-law being like, no, like we don't want to do that. Cause it's like very available, especially in that space, because it's so
Yeah.
brand new. But yeah, like we would get offers from other people to do these things, but we just wouldn't do them basically. And I feel like,
Like to do unethical things, you mean?
yeah, like
Okay.
very just like slimy business practices. And then also just It was other things, like, I feel like, um, he would just, like when things got really stressful, he would kinda just, like, leave.
Hmm.
And just
Okay, so now he's out of the picture,
yeah.
and your brother,
And then my brother-in-law, he just
oh,
got, like,
brother-in-law. Okay.
so, yeah, my brother-in-law, so this is, like, after that one guy left. He just got, like, so overwhelmed with Saison, I guess, and,
Okay.
he's just like, I can't work on it anymore." And then for me, like,
Gotcha.
at this time, I was just like, "Damn," I'm like, but, like, if you're struggling with the workload, like, you're only
Yeah.
gonna push it onto me,
Right.
but, I just, like I was watching a sermon and it just, like, really spoke to me, and it's basically, like, a pastor going through the exact same thing I was going through, except for, like, in a context of a church and people in leadership leaving the church, and then he basically just said, like, "Just let them go."
Gotcha.
Like, yeah, so I just did that, but then everything, like, kinda worked out in the end anyways, um, but I felt like, actually, it was, like it's interesting because I had that I was praying that, like, God would help me, like, find, like, possibly a new founder. I just, like, couldn't see myself, like, being the lead like that or,
Yeah.
like, the only founder, and then what ended up happening was, um, my actual blood brother and then my cousin and then my brother-in-law, which was gonna leave, like, they all just decided to become like, work on it with me.
Okay.
And I was like, wow, like I just got like 3 new founders, and the one that was gonna leave like didn't end up leaving. And then, but then, yeah, they just like my brother like never really got too involved with it. So like, cause he has like the barbershop
Hmm.
that he has to run, and then my cousin, um, he was always in the community, like in our NFT community, but not as a founder, just like an actual community member. And
Yeah.
like he just started I don't know, he just got preoccupied with other things. Um and then yeah, for my brother-in-law, like I think the same thing happened with him is he just like was overwhelmed again.
Right.
And then
So,
yeah.
would you say it's more structure you're looking for, or is it for sure like a partner? Because I feel like I was listening to, again, we talked about Alex Hermosi the other day. I was listening to a podcast he did, I think, a couple days ago, and he's like, people are quick to hire a $150,000 employee. Now, obviously, this is a partner, not an employee, because a little bit different, but they're much slower to like put in systems in place, like whether it's an AI tool that can help you
Mm,
streamline some processes or whatever that looks like.
mhm.
What would you say? Which way are you kind of leaning right now with that?
Like
It
for
seems
me
like,
right now, I'm like we're in like a weird spot because like I have my 5 workers, and then I have people
mhm,
that are basically already ready to work on this game with me. We're just like kind of
okay,
waiting for investment. Um but uh I wouldn't mind like a partner basically, just because I feel like there's already a lot of work that I have to do, like when it comes to
yeah,
like being like the artist, the main artist, as well as like talking to the workers and stuff. And then also in this like in the Web3 space, like it's pretty common to be like almost like a I don't know, just to like update the community. I haven't been doing too well at that, but we still have our community somehow.
yeah,
And like even just with the workers, like they just decided to stay even though I don't really have the funds to pay them at this moment. But they like believe that that at one point we will have investment. That's why they're like I don't know if that's completely why they're just able to just go out and stay, but that's like kind of where we're at. I'm like for me it's like I just want God's will, right? So if God wanted me to just do it like just as a founder alone, then like I'm completely fine with that. I feel like he already brought me to this place where I feel somewhat comfortable, but um yeah, I think another part is like I would want more like almost like Christians or like people that are equally yoked like on
yeah,
the working on the project. Because right now, not all of us are Christians and have the same values. they're still down to work on it. Like they know what I'm trying to build, but the game is like still built to attract everybody. But it will be like inspired by Christian values, kind of like Lord of the Rings, like how that's like based off the Bible in a way, but it's like
Is
not
it?
like
I didn't know
everyone.
that.
Yeah, like a lot of books. I feel like
Isn't Lord of the Rings like witchcraft?
I know, that's why I'm like, for me, like I want to do that, but I wouldn't include any of like the wizards and stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like mostly witchcraft. Yeah, I didn't know that. But it sounds like maybe you need like an operator who's running the day to day while you do the art and the long term vision and everything.
Yeah,
And
maybe something like that.
maybe are you yourself managing the social media presence, like Twitter and everything?
The mods actually helped me a lot with that.
Okay.
So we're like, our social media presence is like not so strong right now because I kind of let our community know like we're looking for this investor, and then once we like get that settled, like we're gonna just like hype it up again, because there's no point in like advertising right now and not really doing anything for them to like look forward to or show them.
Yeah.
Like the community is down for the game, um and yeah, I think they're familiar with like the fact that like these projects do get funding, so they're just waiting on that. But I just don't, I want to be like funded by like the right people too,
Mm.
basically.
So have you gotten offers for funding that are just not aligned, I guess, ethically?
No, like we haven't really pushed out our pitch deck at all yet, because like
Okay.
there's still certain things that we need to iron out. uh like for me, like the only thing I feel like we can offer is like percentage like of the earnings from the game. I don't know like if you're familiar with other pitch decks like and what they can offer, but for me, like that's the only thing I feel like I can offer. um Also because I think it's good for them to have a piece of it, just so they feel um like they benefited to work on it as well with
Yeah.
alongside us.
And you're talking about for the investors, like the capital investor?
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, that's what people do. They invest in businesses, so that definitely makes sense. By the way, I did talk to Doug. He said they're not currently doing games. He said he will try to think of someone, but doesn't know anyone off top of his head.
Mhm.
Um, but so sorry, I got distracted with someone to my left. What does your day to day look like right now? Because you haven't pushed out the pitch deck. That, and then I'm also curious about. I know you said you don't have the money right now to pay your employees. What happened to like the 900K?
The 900K, so we had to buy out that one guy, but that was like only 120. And then we had to like I got like 100 from that. And then we are like, because we had developers that were kind of building out like some of the stuff that we wanted for the game too. So we wanted like all of our traits to become like its own token. We wanted that ability to attach like that QR code to our merchandise. Um, we also had to buy the website, and then yeah, we're also just like paying our mods. And like at the beginning when we were still working with that one founder, like he was pretty like what's the word, just like irresponsible with the money. Like
Mm,
he felt like this because I feel like there was like some sort of anxiety in him, but he felt like he had to like almost like impress our community. And so like
yeah,
every week he was like, okay, we had to like have something new for them, we had to have something new for them. So he was like kind of throwing out a lot of money towards like these developers to develop things and like really fast. So he'd pay like an extra cost just to like get it done quicker than what was like even possible for the developers. Um, so yeah, a lot of the funds like were kind of lost in there, and he didn't really have like a vision. Like he wasn't focused on building something like more substantial. He was just trying to like upkeep this image, or just like have stuff for the community to do, but nothing of like substance, I feel.
Gotcha. Okay. So trying to desperately like just keep him around, sounds like then.
Hmm. I guess like in a way like got us our community, because it was like there was a lot of eyes on us at a couple points. But I don't know. It's just like that's why he really had to like we had to like separate from him basically.
Okay.
Hmm.
So it sounds like you need right now mostly like consistency, structure. Those are the main two things that are glaring out to me.
Hmm.
Yeah, I get the consistency and structure is I think what's pointing out to me. Would you say that feels right, or am I way off there?
Um, yes. Well, yeah, and like I guess the funding part.
Right, right,
Like,
right, right.
you asked what my day to day is, and it's like basically me trying to finish a pitch deck, but then there's like some other things like the mod, like we'll host like a random like contest here and there, and then we'll like ship out like the clothes, the clothes that we do have. We don't really have much clothes left. Like we only have like a couple sizes, um, but yeah, and then just like yeah, just going to the the post office, sending that out, then trying to finish this pitch deck. I like it's just hard, yeah, with the pitch deck because I've never like made a pitch deck before. I'm like trying to think of like how like an investor would look at it, as
Yeah.
well as like, throw in some numbers that like I really like don't have a good understanding of, like for like how much money, like for how much percentage, like I don't know, like make offers that and have it make sense. Like I feel like there's a lot of numbers that I feel like I should be aware of.
Do you have once you have it completed, do you have investors in mind that you're gonna plan to go to, or
Yeah,
you are
like
planning to go to?
I think in the Web3 space there are definitely like game investors in there. Um, but I like for me personally, like I really do want to find like some sort of like Christian based thing,
Yeah.
if that's possible. Because
Did
yeah,
you look into Praxis that I sent you?
I just looked at like the first page today. It's like praxislabs.org, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I was just on there looking through their first page. But I haven't even looked through it like completely yet. So I
Okay.
feel I
Yeah,
definitely have.
that's definitely a good organization to get connected with. Um, but yeah,
So they're like digital based too, right?
that I'm not sure. Um, what I would say is like don't be afraid to be told no, because I think a lot of times we can procrastinate because we want to make something perfect, even though as you mentioned, like with this, you don't know
Mhm.
even what perfect looks like, what investor looks like. So
Yeah.
either be willing to make it and be told no, or like if you could get advice from an investor
Hmm.
and say like what would make, just like yeah, straight up ask them like what would make this a win for you, and
Yeah.
then they'll tell you, and if that's a win for you, great. If not, then maybe that can be some negotiating. If that doesn't work, then
Mhm.
that can lead you to great. This is what an investor is looking for. This is what I need, and
Mhm.
this is how we can make it a win-win. So
Yeah. Oh, okay. Like even for that Doug guy, like he doesn't have to invest, but like maybe if I could even just talk to him, but he's like probably busy, right?
I think I'm gonna see him tomorrow morning. I'll ask him. I asked him and he didn't reply. He usually replies really quick. So he is. I know he's really busy in Q4 because of the companies that he owns ownership in.
Mm.
He um he usually just talks to them via Zoom, but like in Q4, it's much more intensive because they're trying to put together like the Q1 or like 2025 plan.
Mm.
So he like flies out to the companies and whatnot.
Oh,
So
okay.
I know he's busier in this season. Yeah. Um, maybe in the new year it might free up a bit, but right now, yeah, it's pretty busy.
Are his companies like Christian based or something, or are they just like companies?
I know that the thing is, you don't have to necessarily be explicitly Christian to hold up Christian values as a business.
Hmm.
I think that's like I don't think all of them are like explicitly Christian,
Okay.
to my understanding. Yeah,
Mm.
but they are like I was saying last time, they're very founder centric, whereas most private equity firms are very um, like idea and business centric. So like this is a
Mm.
great idea. Can we tolerate the founder
Yeah.
versus like this is a great founder. Let's just
Mm.
work on making this idea and business better. So
Yeah.
kind of they do it in reverse a little bit.
Hmm.
Um, so right now, what do you feel is the biggest roadblock keeping you from getting the investor, making this game, and like getting into the leadership position and getting the structure and consistency? Like what's like the main thing you would say is holding you back?
I feel like like the structure and consistency, like once we're running as like a business after like receiving investment, like I feel like those things would come because a whole bunch of people that like are waiting to work on the project would be able to actually start working on it.
Yeah.
uh, but like yeah, right now is like there's not much they can do. So I guess like the biggest roadblock is like getting this pitch deck, I guess, and then just presenting it and like getting
What's
it
your goal on getting it on the pitch deck done? Like how long are you giving yourself to have it
I
done and
wish I had it done
presenting
like
it?
already.
Okay.
I wish I had it done already. We should like the marketers, they kind of, because they're helping us with the pitch deck. And like so I've been working with the video game developer a lot on it. And then we have these marketers that want to help us get it out. But they're saying how like we need to be like more clear about like how like what the investor gets out of this basically.
Mm. Yeah.
uh, in my mind I was thinking
So
like,
clarity.
yeah, like I was hoping I could just this is kind of like just like a dream, but I was like hoping I just like find some like rich person that's just like, yeah, like I'm passionate about the youth, like I feel like this is needed, and like I just want to partner with you on that, and
Yeah.
then we just start working on it. But I don't know how realistic that is.
Have you heard the verse Habakkuk 2:2?
um how does it go?
Write the vision, make it plain on tablets, so he may run who reads it. So basically, like a lot of times we have our ideas in our minds,
Mm-hmm.
and it can, I would say most of the time it's probably not even clear for us. We
Yeah.
we like to think it's clear, but like even if it is clear for us when we're explaining it to the people can't read our minds as much as we know that would be great.
Mm,
In that specific scenario, for them to read our minds and not have to explain everything. But
yeah.
I think yeah, definitely getting it on paper, writing it down, and like I said, I think being willing to fail or being willing to ask for feedback on
Uh-huh.
what an investor would want would definitely be good. I would also encourage you to look into just like ethical, like not necessarily Christian
Uh-huh.
private equity firms, but just like ethical private equity firms. Um, but yeah, definitely, I think Praxis will help a lot.
Uh-huh.
So definitely look into that. Um, yeah.
Uh,
So
I feel like that's what people have been saying to me. Like the moms are like, because they're not necessarily Christian, but they're like, don't like try like reaching out to like a whole bunch of like just video game investors.
yeah,
It's just like for me, it's like the such a big part of it is like that Christian view of it.
yeah,
But I think even on its own, like the fact that we have the fact that we're kind of basing the game off of what already is successful, but like adding our own like kind of twist to it, using our community and all that is like there's already, it doesn't have to necessarily like the Christian side doesn't have to be like the biggest pull in the thing. Like it can be just the fact that we're already like we
Yeah.
already have eyes on us and we already have people that are waiting to like really push this thing, not only for us but also like for themselves. So there's like a real draw to it. But
Because also think about, for example, you were saying earlier, Lord of Rings is based off the Bible, but I've never heard that till today. I don't know if that's true. Then like that's maybe it is true, but that's not how they promote it,
mm-hmm.
right? So it's like you can be subtly Christian as well,
Yeah,
and a lot of being Christian is just like,
being like a light in the dark.
yeah, like I don't know, like being Jesus, but also like I was listening to a podcast by a faith-driven entrepreneur today. Hold
Mm,
on. Excuse me. I was listening to a podcast by a faith-driven entrepreneur today, and they were talking about how like even like Roblox and that kind of thing, there are like a lot of predators on those type of games.
yeah,
And
that's like my case study like for my pitch, like how Roblox is like the biggest game but it's like actually so dangerous.
yeah, so like that could be a huge thing, is like you really, once the game is out, you really crack down on making sure there are no predators on the game,
Mm,
right? Like, and I don't know what that would look like, but like I think that could be a good idea, just running it as a with faith-based principles. And yeah, not necessarily does it have to be like you have to be a Christian to play the game or anything,
yeah, no, I don't want
right?
it to be like that because like for my dream for the game is like I want it to be like a place for people to like for everyone, but like I don't, because I'm an evangelist, so like I'll literally like
Mm,
if there could be like even room for that, like just setting a space for that, like but not me like forcing it on anyone, but like creating a space like where people can talk. But
yeah,
yeah, there have to be definitely safety precautions. I feel like for if they're like under 18, like they should just not be able to talk to strangers. But
yeah.
that's as simple as that, and just
I,
parental
th-
controls.
I think also like you could once 5, 10, 20 years in the future, you could start like I don't know if you have any interest in like public speaking, but like
Mm,
we started this game, we've prevented predators from being on it, and maybe you start a game academy for young up and comers that are like, on the game, or you start an academy for people who are interested in building something like that themselves,
mm-hmm.
and like that I think that could be huge. Um, so,
Yeah. Oh, true. Yeah.
but okay, so where we're at right now, um, well, first of all, has this helped this call today?
Yeah, I feel like it like definitely brought clarity. I feel like I really do need to write it down what
Yeah,
I'm envisioning. Maybe like be a little bit more open to like other investors that are not necessarily like super Christian. But
yeah. What
yeah.
would you say is like the main thing right now that I could help you with, or that you could use help with,
Um
outside
like
of like directly getting an investor?
mhm.
Because it seems like you would be able to get an investor once you get the pitch deck done. Like I know you're saying your day to day right now is the pitch deck and then to sell and close.
Mhm.
I would say it might be beneficial to just focus on the pitch deck and like delegate the closed selling to one of your admins or something like that.
True. Yeah. No, like the clothing thing is like it doesn't take up that much time. Like all I have to do is really just like pack it up and put it away, and then
Okay.
like ship it. But yeah, I feel like for that, since it's like physically like at our shops, like I have to be someone physically that is here because a lot of our mods are like around the world. Um,
What's your runway right now? Like, how long can you survive with? Because like right now, I'm just thinking, you're waiting for this big elephant,
Mhm.
but there's no little squirrels coming
Yeah.
by,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
So
Um, like, so runway is, like, how long I can survive.
yeah, like how much do you have to survive? How long will that last you?
I don't know, I feel like, because 'cause I'm living with my parents, so, like,
Okay.
it's very, like, I don't have, like, a lot of bills to upkeep, and just my my mods, like, they're the people that we do have hired, they're down to wait it out. Like, I was paying them, like, on a monthly basis, but I think for them, it's, like, not too much work for them to be part of the community, and, like, they've
Yeah.
been in this community for so long now that it'd be just, like, awkward just, like, leaving out of nowhere. And they I feel like they just believe that we will find an investor at some point. I like, for me, like, I really do wanna find an investor this month. Um, and then I basically, because the mods are paid, basically. So if I did get it this month, then I would have technically never even missed a payment for our workers, but they're already prepared, like, ready to not be paid this month. But I mean, it would be nice if I could just pay them.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I think that's definitely a big thing is like hold that. I think that's honestly that's maybe a bigger part of running a Christian company is like making sure that you are, paying your employees on time and all that. Than making sure the investor is specifically Christian. Like there's definitely a lot of Christian investors, don't get me wrong, but
Mhm.
I think if you can just find an ethical company that allows you to run with the vision,
Yeah.
um, without like compromising your values, then that
Yeah.
would be the best thing.
Yeah, because for me, it's like I would love to just, like, be freely able to just talk about, like, even the journey of Saison, and, like, how the miracles that happen without, like, an investor being like, "All right," like, it's, like, very, I don't know, because for a lot of people, I feel like, just being talking about your faith a lot is just, like, too much already.
Yeah. What? How long do you think it would take you, if you gave yourself permission to fail? You go into a pitch deck meeting and you're pitching your business idea to an investor. How long would it take you to create a pitch deck, knowing that there is a chance of failure? Like giving yourself that permission that it doesn't have to be perfect.
Definitely, like, this month. I feel
Okay.
like, yeah,
This
because
month, as in November.
November, yeah, because, like,
Okay.
because there's been so many days where I'm just, like, staring at my computer, like, almost, like, paralyzed,
Mm,
um, working on this pitch deck, and I think, like, today was, like, one of the first days where I, like, actually got in that flow,
mm.
and, like, that has not happened in a while, and so
Why do
I'm
you think that was? What led to you being able to get in that flow for the first time in a while?
I don't know, it's, like, kinda similar for art for me. It's, like, when I start seeing something that I like, I all of a sudden, like, I have this, like, untapped energy that's like, keep going. But it's like when I keep make when I like, especially for art, it's like if I'm trying to draw something and it's not, like, turning out like how I, like, kind of envisioned it in my mind, my like my body just, like, seizes, it, like, freezes up, and it's just like, oh, just, like, either, I don't know, like, stop working on it or do something else. So I feel like it's, like,
Yeah,
a perfectionist type of mentality, and not a good way, like a very crippling way.
yeah. So it sounds. I really think, yeah, definitely getting the pitch deck done should 100% be the main priority, and I
Mhm.
think a big way to do that would definitely be talking to your customers, which
Mm,
is in this case like talking
that's
to
true.
potential investors
Uh-huh.
because they know what they are looking for more than you do because they're the ones
Yes,
looking for it.
exactly.
So, um, but so we are at 5:28.
Mhm.
I'm starting this live meet on on time blocking. I honestly I did not realize how advanced my time blocking is until I made the slideshow. It's like 13 slides.
Mm.
I just thought it's time blocking, dude. Like I don't know what to tell you. You block time. But then I'm like, okay, there are actually a few different like techniques I use with it. So
Mhm.
but so if what we discussed today does resonate with you, the next step would be just to schedule another call to discuss how we can go over what this would look like in a longer term plan.
Yeah.
Um, right now, also what I do, I think I told you on our last call, I always send out an email afterwards with like resources, action items.
Mhm.
Yeah, resources and action items. And so I'll send that to you within the next 24 hours. Um, does that sound okay to you?
Oh yeah. Could you
Okay.
like resend those links? Because I feel like I lost it when I left the chat.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I'll
think like
send you
there's yeah.
the links for Praxis Labs,
Mhm.
uh, and a few of these different. I know you were looking for like networking groups as well.
Yeah.
So, cool.
And if you
So
know any like potential investor, like yeah, I'm happy to get connected with them as well.
I'm gonna be with a few actually tomorrow morning. Um, but yeah, I would definitely. I think just naturally.
Mhm.
But well, the thing is honestly like too, you might want to if you are on this constrained like timeline, I would suggest possibly um just going all out, like
Mm.
going to obviously like you still again you want to go to an investor that is not going to make you compromise your values, right? But
Yeah.
it's kind of it's game time, you
Mhm.
know. So um but yeah, cool. I think this was a really good call.
Mhm.
Um and I think that like with a few targeted adjustments with improving the consistency, um the structure, making sure we get that pitch deck done, being giving yourself permission again to like fail,
Mhm.
right? As funny as that sounds, will like make a huge difference.
Mhm.
And then the follow up would just give us a chance to map out like how we can bring these changes to life. I'm gonna move inside before we get on this next call. It's freezing out here. But I'll send you the email, and then I'll send you my booking link again in the email.
Mhm.
Because my booking link's gonna change sometime in the next week because I'm working on refining my website right now. It's on the Calendly. But
Okay.
yeah, I'm already running like 2 minutes late. Are you joining?
Yeah, I'll join.
Okay, cool. Sounds good. I'll see you in a second. Peace.
Peace.